San Antonio's voice tonight, something a little different. We are saying goodbye to a man who's been a San Antonio favorite for more than 2 decades.
So all the money for tonight's show is going to the San Antonio Chamber of Commerce. Wonderful.
Yeah, that was Jay Leno back in 1980 or 95. That's me too. One of several times I was able to stick my camera literally in his face and interview Jay over the years. Jay's last night on The Tonight Show will be this Thursday night as Jimmy Fallon will take over after the Olympics.
Yeah, this is actually the most relaxing part of the day during the show. It's the most fun part. It's the easiest part, assuming it's all come together.
That's what happens after you've been sequestered for a few days.
Oh, yeah, Nacogdoches. I remember that gig.
Nacogdoches. Off camera, Leno can be quite serious, I found out. And this was just 3 years into the Tonight Show gig. He was pretty open about feeling the pressure to be #1.
I mean, it's a different ball game now that there are so many shows. You know, the old days, you could put an author on to talk about an interesting book. Nowadays, people tend to, if they haven't heard of someone, or it isn't the hot thing, or the buzz isn't out on X, Y, or Z, they're around the dial. So you've got to have it moving all the time.
And that's why Leno did things like coming to San Antonio for a jaywalking segment. It was that same year, in '95. And it was 19 years ago when I happened to ask him what he would be doing in 20 years.
20 years from now, you're still going to be here doing this?
That would be very nice. I mean, I think the days of, you know, Johnny was one of a kind, and the fact that he was able to do it for 30 years is something that will stand, and I don't think anyone will ever come close to that. And it tends to be a young business. I mean, I'm 44, so in 20 years I'm 64, so I have no idea. That would be very nice to think, but I wouldn't be quite that cocksure about it.
Very close. That was 19 years ago, and he just about made it that next 20 years. I asked him about 22 total on The Tonight Show when he leaves. So let us know what you're going to miss about Jay Leno and look forward to about Jimmy Fallon on our Facebook page. We'll air some of that later this week, along with what he did in San Antonio. We'll have some of that. And Don, don't make any mustache jokes.
I was going to say something more about the fishing vest you had on. What was that?
Photographer's vest.
Okay. Spurs take a field trip while in Washington.